Go live. Let's go. Let's go, chat. We are live. We're live on TikTok. We're live on the good old YouTube. We're off to the races. We're off to the races. Who is here? 0 people. Just me, myself, and I. They'll come. If you build it, if you talk about porn on the internet, they will come. That's my motto, at least. That is my motto. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. Here to talk about porn, the most riveting stream on the internet. Thank you for the heart. Caleb, what's up? Caleb, you said something the other day. You said even when the host is losing a debate, he still keeps people on. Caleb, when have I lost a debate? Share my opinions, but no, I know what you're saying. Appreciate that. Rah, good to see you. It's been a while. Maybe we'll talk to some Pakistanis tonight. You can help translate. Look, to get us started here, I'm going to read an excerpt from the book, The Porn Myth by Matt Fradd. The Porn Myth by Matt Fradd. All right. This book talks about myths about pornography. Myth meaning things that aren't true. Okay? This is chapter 4. There is no difference between porn and naked art. In 1969, how convenient, Marvin Miller made $10 million by printing and shipping pornographic books. He had one hard and fast rule for his 50 employees: no free samples. Black market porn is bad for business. I mean, when they've got all the things to say and seem like they know what they're talking about. Yeah, I got you, Caleb. Miller was among a select few in the Los Angeles porn trade doing business in the millions in the 1960s. He claimed that 15% of the people whom he mailed advertisements bought something from him, an astonishing percent for mail order. What's up, Anonymous Love? His profits did not come without a personal cost, though. In the first several years of his business... Oh, where's my music? I'm sorry, chat. I am so sorry. Hold on. Now we're cranking. There we go. His profits did not come without a personal cost, though. In the first several years of his business, he was arrested 30 times on charges of mailing, quote, obscene material. In 1968 alone, his legal expenses topped $200,000. You like the eerie silence. His mailed advertisements often contained images from his books, images of naked women in provocative poses, and occasionally some were mailed directly to minors. In court, Miller claimed that his books had redeeming social value, carefully chosen words, as they echoed the 1957 Supreme Court ruling in Roth versus the United States. This case had redefined what was deemed obscene material and therefore not protected by First Amendment rights. After the court's decision, pornographers could lace their magazines and books with storylines, no matter how thin, and claim that their otherwise racy picture books had social value. This is the porn myth, myth number 4 about pornography, that there is no difference between porn and naked art. Still, local communities and law enforcement brought men like Miller to court on obscenity charges. Marvin Miller's legal defense highlights the thin line between pornography and erotica, or nude art. Intuition tells many people that there are differences, but trying to pin down those differences has been notoriously difficult for lawmakers and art critics alike. Pornographers often speak of their work as being in the cultural continuum of erotic art. Porn has been around since the beginning of time, they say, and will never go away. They appeal to antiquity, noting that some of the most celebrated works of classic art feature nudity. The Renaissance celebrated this heritage. Thus, Michelangelo's David is nude, and so are many of his painted figures in the Sistine Chapel. So what's the difference between pornography and naked art? Where do you get books like that? On my resources page, link in bio. They're all linked there. This is The Porn Myth by Matt Fradd. First, they are different in their very definitions. The word pornography contains the Greek root word porneia, meaning prostitution or prostitute. Like prostitution, Pornography has a specific desired end, sexual stimulation in order to produce a completed sexual act. True art is not produced for this purpose, to substitute for a prostitute. True artists aim at capturing their vision of beauty in order that the beautiful might be apprehended and appreciated. A porn director would be puzzled or even disappointed if someone who watched one of his X-rated flicks told him, "The film was beautiful, but it didn't get me off. I didn't find it all that sexually arousing." Michelangelo, on the other hand, would most likely have been disturbed if someone told him that his paintings in the Sistine Chapel did little to arouse wonder, but sure did turn him on. The difference between a pornographer and an artist lies in his intentions. A professor of philosophy at the University of Maryland and an expert in aesthetics says that art and pornography can both induce sexual interest, but pornography is made exclusively for the purpose of causing sexual stimulation. Porn makers intend to bring people into this physiological state that is prelude and prerequisite to release. In other words, the point of porn is masturbation. One more page, and then we're going to take some guests on. Does your wife mind that you're on live rather than spending time with her? She actually was going to watch this like for the first time ever. I don't know if she's ever watched one of my lives, but she was going to sit here and watch me live, but she went to bed. So what of pornographers who want to peddle their product as something with redeeming artistic value? What of Marvin Miller's mail order business? In 1971, Miller was charged with distributing obscene material, and his case eventually went before the Supreme Court in what would become a landmark decision, Miller versus California. In 1973, Miller lost, and his case was remanded to the California courts. In the process, the Supreme Court redefined what counts as unprotected obscenity. Ironically, the three-pronged test for obscenity is now called the Miller test. In order for something to be deemed obscene, the following criteria must be met. 1, the average person, applying contemporary community standards, would find that the work, taken as a whole, appeals to prurient interest. Prurient. This is why I need you. You need to know what prurient means. Prurient. Marked by or arousing an immoderate or unwholesome interest or desire. Number 2, the work depicts or describes sexual conduct in a patently offensive way. Number 3, the work, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. And that's the one that people come on here all the time, and they're like, oh, but it's no different than watching a TV show. No, the work, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. Basically, it's meaningless work as a whole. No doubt the line between pornography and art can be blurry. Some say that the artistic value of porn is in the eye of the beholder. Perhaps it is. But at the end of the day, porn is not created for the sake of beauty, and true art is not created for the sake of masturbation. So that TV show that you're saying like, oh yeah, it's the same thing. No, that show was not created for the sake of masturbation. Welcome everybody, my name is Austin Hamilton, also known as the Porn Coach. Just reading a little excerpt, some light reading from The Porn Myth by Matt Fradd. It's a good book, a little nighttime reading. NSFW though, don't read that with the kids around, unless you're trying to educate them about porn. And there's another book called Good Pictures, Bad Pictures that I would recommend for that. All right. Porn is cheating, changed my mind. Who wants to chat? Who's here? Did I see Trina? I saw Caitlin. It's a gray area. Rara, Calum, Justin Orr. I went to college with someone named Justin Orr. All right, I'm going to put the guest box up. And if you would like to come on here and share your story, you can tell me you agree or disagree that pornography is cheating. Maybe you've been betrayed by somebody who watches pornography. Maybe you want to try to change my mind. Maybe you're addicted and you don't yet know it yet, or your partner doesn't know it yet. I'll talk to you. So, prove to me it's cheating. Well, come on and chat, Bobby. I don't like it. Being a godly man, I do good, then fall in. What do you believe? I believe that if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person and you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part, something like that, and you deviate from that, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, I think you violated the agreement, and it's therefore cheating. I agree, and I do really great weeks, sometimes months. Committed monogamous relationship. What does that mean? So if you're single, it's okay to watch. I would say it's not cheating, but I would ask you why you're watching porn and masturbating if you're single. What are you getting out of it? You know you don't believe this, but hey, it gets viewers. Bobby J, come on and chat, man. I'd love to chat. I gotta fix my thing here. Bobby J, come on. Let me just fix the YouTube stream. All right. Where are my requesters tonight? This is so weird. I have an addiction, but it's not hurting anyone. Do I pick different topics? No, Becky Boo. I'm a one-trick pony. This is it. All roads lead to porn in my book. We've all got a sexual story. There's no plus sign? Oh, are the boxes not there? Oh, the requests aren't there. Hey, toss me that phone, will you? WTF, TikTok. All right, thank you, chat. Thank you. Same topic every night. That's right. There, the request box is there now. I see him now. All right, Bobby J, here we go. Let's go. Let's go, Bobby J. Like and share, people. Look, the other day we were at like 70,000 likes after an hour and a half. Like and share if you like my live. And if you don't follow me already, give me a follow if you like my content. Bobby J, you there? Bobby J. Okay, I'm kicking you off, man. If you want to come back, request again. Sparkly juice. Hey there, what's going on? Hello. Sparkly juice. Is porn cheating? Sparkly juice? Sparkly juice. You there? No sparkly juice. Haley Ayer. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Is porn cheating?
In my opinion, yes.
In your opinion, yes. Okay. Tell me more.
Well, cheating is not being faithful to your partner. What's being faithful to your partner? Not thinking, oh, okay, well, not like thinking or like romanticizing.
Are you
with
18
another
or
person.
over?
Yeah, I'm 19, I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. No problem. So, go ahead.
Anyway, cheating is like romanticizing with another person or like looking at them sexually. Like being sexual with another person would be cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, yeah, porn is cheating.
Okay. Have you been in a relationship with somebody who watches porn?
Yes.
And how'd you discover that?
They didn't tell me that they were doing it, and I kind of just like came across it. And I feel like if you come to the person you're with and saying, "Hey, this is something I do, then like, obviously I don't think that should be a problem if I'm aware of it, but like keeping a secret and not telling your partner that you're doing it, then I feel like that's cheating.
Hmm. So doing it in secret is the part that's the gotcha in your orientation.
Yeah.
Got it.
Hmm.
Are you in a relationship currently?
Yes.
Does your partner watch porn?
No.
Okay. Sweet. Is he there right now? Can we get him on?
No, he's not.
Okay. How do you know he doesn't watch it?
Just mutual trust, I guess.
Hmm. That's
I don't
good.
know,
Do
I'm
you
not like
watch
the
porn?
Snoopy type. No, I don't.
You don't either. Okay. How old is your partner? You're 19. How old is he?
21.
21. Has he ever watched porn?
I'm not sure. Don't know.
Okay. Have you guys talked about it before?
Yeah, like when we first met, I was 17, he was 19. When we first met, we were friends at the time, and then when I turned 18, we started dating.
Hmm. Got it. Well, that's great if that's what you're wanting. Um, and statistically, most boys are exposed to pornography by the age of 13. So there's probably a sexual story there. I'm not saying he watches
Probably.
porn. I don't know, but
What do you
might be
think though? Do
some.
you think porn is cheating?
Yeah, I think if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person, you've said something like "I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part." If you deviate from that, whether it's with a person on a screen or otherwise, I think that goes against the agreement. It's not honoring to the relationship and is therefore cheating.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course. Have a good night.
You too. Bye bye. It's still wrong regardless. So yeah, I would agree with that. Hey there, what's going on? Super J. Hello. Hello. So many people accidentally request, which is no problem. It's really funny when they snore though. W's in the chat for the snores. Hey, what's up, man?
Oh,
How you doing?
good. Wait, so you think it's cheating?
Yes, that's what I think. What do you think?
But like, what if it's like a real mental problem like that they have? Like, it's still like, is it just like down? Like, what if this has been a problem before, like the relationship, and like he just struggled with it
Are you asking for a friend?
personally?
Like for you?
Yeah, personally.
Okay. Well, I would say two things can be true, right? It could be an addiction, it could be something you're struggling with, and it could be cheating. I guess three things would be true in that scenario.
So even though I understand what you're saying. So it's still cheating, but it's like, so you're saying you're putting the other person in that position. So it's like you shouldn't get in a relationship if you know you struggle with that, basically.
I didn't say that. I think it's an invitation to just honestly look at what's going on in your life, right? Like,
Yeah.
so do you watch pornography?
Yeah, like a really pretty bad, yeah.
Okay. And are you in a relationship?
I actually currently just ended because she actually wants to take a break because of like I just been trying, but I haven't been able to get the help I need, and it's like
With pornography?
yeah, correct.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man. How old are you?
19.
Okay. How bad is it? How often are you using it?
Uh, well, so it's been since I was like 11 years old. It would be five at least 5 times a day. The scenery didn't matter, so if it could be public, it could be a public place, private place, like yeah.
Okay. How often would you masturbate?
Um, it would at least be at least 4 times a day.
Okay. Are you capping right now?
No, I put down everything I love. Put down
You
everything I
what?
love. I put down everything I love.
You put down everything you love?
I put it like I wouldn't lie. I promise. I'm not just coming to troll.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right. How did your girlfriend find out when you were with her?
Well, first off, it started becoming from why, like I would first off, it came from like me lying and like hiding stuff. Like she slowly found stuff and like caught on. And then like I left her for like we broke up for a little bit, and then I came back. It was only like a month break, and then when I came back, I told her like everything I've been struggling with.
Hmm.
But then like I feel like at that point, it was already 3 months in, and it was just like a lot on her to like hear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, how were you first exposed to pornography?
Um, well, there's a lot of stuff like I was interested like I feel like sexual things were normal in my life for a long time. Like I first remember seeing like something happen between like my cousin and like this guy when I was like 6 years old. It was always like talked about in my family. We wouldn't necessarily say the word. We'd be like sex. Like we wouldn't say that word. But like I knew what it was from like a very short age. I remember being in second grade and telling the kids like this is how sex is like because my stepdad told me so. Like I knew everything about it since like a really young age, and I've been like experienced through like stuff like that.
Hmm. Sorry, man. Um, who else in your life knows that you struggle with this?
I told my mom yesterday because I just been breaking down because like I obviously lost my girlfriend. Like we were living together and everything.
Hmm. Yeah. How did that conversation go?
It was definitely awkward, but like I said, addiction and stuff like that has run in my family. Like my dad was an addict before. My mom was my mom's mom was my mom's dad was. So it's just like they're all addicted to some type of drug. So it's like something that's definitely easy. Maybe I didn't get addicted to drugs, but maybe it's easier for me to get addicted to something different.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. Is your dad still around?
He's not in my life as much. Like I moved, so I used to live in a different area that's about 2 hours away from here, right? And then and my dad was like, I was technically born in where I'm living right now, but then my like conceded, you would say, and then my mom moved down to where I was raised at, and then I came down back here to go to college.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, so yeah,
How long have you been trying to stop watching pornography?
it's been almost like I'd say like I've tried in the like a couple years ago, but like I actually have really been trying for I'd say like 4 months, but like after like a week, it's it's like hard. After a week, I
Hmm.
usually like it's like the hardest for me.
Hmm. What do you do? First of all, great job for identifying that and striving to change it. Right, that's really hard to do, and it's very uncommon at your age to actually take action on this. So good job. What have you done to try to do that?
I went to therapy, but the therapy I was going to, she wasn't experienced in the field. So I feel like that's another thing. I'm planning on to therapy again, but I plan on going to someone that's actually experienced and can give me hands on. Like it's like talking to someone it's like talking to someone that hasn't went through it. So how can you really give me a hands on experience? So that's what was kind of awkward. It was also a female I was going to see. So it's like she's not gonna understand anything I'm going through. She can give me advice, but she would give me advice and it would be like therapy.com, and then she would give me a list of like what it is, you know what I mean? So it's not really it wasn't helping me.
Yeah, got it. Um, Man, at your age, trying to navigate this, it's so hard. And I know a lot of people's peer groups, especially at that age, they're like they don't even want to work on this. So good job for doing that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Um, do you have any friends who you've talked to about this?
Like I told my friends, but it's just like it's not like they really give information. It's not like a like I told a few, like I did tell a few of my friends, but it's kind of like they didn't really like care. It seems, you know what I mean? They're
Hmm.
just like I'm here for you, but they weren't
Yeah,
like willing to talk more. I don't know if it's because it's an awkward situation for them as well, or just
hmm,
anything.
yeah, got it. If you could get this under control, or differently put, rid pornography from your life, it sounds like that's what your goal is. What do you imagine would be different in your life?
Just happiness, honestly. Just like I see sometimes like where I've done it and I'm just angry at the world. Like I just feel a numb moodedness and I just feel like happiness and I wouldn't rely on that. I notice a lot when I get anxious or like I have a big exam because I'm in college or just anything. I often rely on that to just
Hmm.
help me ease me through the moment to tell me things are gonna be better.
Hmm.
But I feel like I wanna be able to have a good day without thinking that's gonna make me have a better day.
Yeah, because it porn promises you everything but leaves you nothing.
And
So it's like
honestly, I found myself being more insecure also. Like I feel like not worthy as
mm,
much. Yeah.
yeah. Have you watched my content before? Or did you just come across me tonight?
I just actually followed you like I think yesterday or today.
Okay. There's a great book, man. It's called Unwanted by Jay Stringer. Take a screenshot of that. How
Thank you.
sexual brokenness reveals our way to healing. And I'd recommend this for anybody in the chat if you're struggling with pornography, or if you have a partner who is, or if you're wanting to unpack your own sexual story. It's a very helpful book to do that, and it'll give you language, to put with "I feel unwanted" or "I feel like nobody loves me." There's a story there, man. And you're using pornography, the general you. We use pornography because we're trying to escape something that's going on in our life.
Yeah.
We're anxious, we're stressed, we're depressed, we have an exam, we don't know how to handle our emotions, and we think we need to go get a dopamine hit in order to make ourselves feel better, which pornography does do. It does make us feel better for a moment in time, but then it
Do you say
usually leaves us emptier and emptier. Go ahead.
is it pornography? It's all masturbation, correct? It's just not pornography, but we consider it that, right?
Yeah, well, there is such a thing as using masturbation for the same reasons as well, but pornography just adds fuel to that fire. So there can be compulsive masturbation and pornography use coupled with it.
All right. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, man. Well, thanks for sharing. Man, I got some resources in my chat or in my bio. If you're interested in that, if you want to schedule a private call, I'd be happy to chat. But dude, keep keep on trying to move forward in this, okay? And it sounds like you've tasted what a better life could be like without pornography. And I would just say, man, if at 19 years old I knew that and other people would get on that same train, like, dude, the world would be a better place, in my opinion.
Thank
So
you. I
way to go, man.
appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. W's in the chat for that guy. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for sharing. Like and share if you guys like my content. 4,000 likes. Tap the screen. You know the thing. W's in the chat. Like and share. And give me a follow if you don't follow me already. If you like my content. If you don't like my content, you want to just come back and argue sometime. I'm down with that too. Hey there, what's going on? Oh, that was an accident. Whoopsie daisy. You want to argue? Get on here. Get on here, Anonymous Love. Let's argue. The last few nights, I just wasn't into it. I wasn't into the arguing like last night. It was a short live, but hey, I wasn't into it. Here we are, though. Hey there, what's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Are you 18 or over?
I am actually 41.
You're 41. Okay, great.
Yes.
Is porn cheating?
It depends on the person for me. I feel like when I was married, he would watch it with me, being there on the side, but it always made me wonder in the back of my mind if he was doing it when I wasn't around. And for me, I feel like it's not because of the fact that they're not physically touching that person, but at the same time, I guess in a sense, it is emotional cheating.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
here's the question then. When does cheating become cheating?
Once you make the choice to steer away from the person you're already with, I think, and
Got
it doesn't start with touch. It's definitely starts emotionally, just having that thought of wanting to stray with somebody else.
Got it. Okay. Was You might have said this, so forgive me, but was pornography a thing in your marriage with your husband?
Um, it was, and then later on, cheating actually ended up being what killed our marriage.
Oh, physical
Um,
cheating?
oh yeah, no,
Oh,
he
okay.
ended up cheating on me with a girl that was my daughter's. That was my best friend when my daughter was a kid. Um,
Wait, you're one of your best friends?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, you turned your camera on. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. People like hardly ever turn their cameras on.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Um,
So your ex-husband cheated with a friend of yours when your daughter was young?
no, we got divorced in 2021. I was best friends with her when my daughter was 10. My daughter's now 19, so this was 4 years ago.
Got it.
And what's sad to me is like I told him, please, like this person I know, because her and I had had a falling out. Um, and I told her and told him that, this person is not a valuable person. Like this person has done me wrong before. Like be careful
Mm,
with her. And it's almost like it was a moth to a flame, not to use it, a regular terminology, but she definitely she preyed on him, he preyed on her,
hmm.
and
And was there pornography involved before that you
yeah,
were aware of? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that.
Well, it wasn't just her. I mean, he had a wandering eye. There was, you know, girls that he would talk to that, you know, weren't it just his behavior was in my eyes, I didn't feel was respectful to me or our marriage, you
Hmm.
know. And I know everybody's different. I mean, there are different ways of having relationships. Um, but the thing is like not everybody's poly, not everybody is into open relationships. And,
Yeah.
you know, if he wanted that, he should have, you know, maybe
Made that
stayed
clear.
single,
Hmm.
or into the relationship maturely. And the sad thing is my best friend's like, you need to give it 6 months. He's like, I don't love her. I haven't been in love with her. I don't want to be with her. And my best
Hmm.
friend's like, you need to give it 6 months. A month later, he wanted me back. And I told him no. I put my foot down. I wanted to have enough respect for myself to say, hey, like, if I don't say no, I'm teaching you how to treat me. And
People
so,
treat us how
therefore,
we train them to treat us.
yep. And so I made the choice to walk away.
Hmm.
And I'm glad I did because it sounded like the toxicity just continued after our marriage failed. He was an alcoholic, and thank you so much. And he didn't understand that like I was done. And I'm one of those type of people like I will try and try and try and try. I'm
Hmm.
very forgivable. I'm very loving. But once I'm done, like there's no swaying me any other way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, way to have firm boundaries on that. And, that I love how you said that. The way I language it is people treat us how we train them to treat us. I'm curious,
Right.
chat. Think of a way, you do this as well if you want, but think of a way that you are allowing people to treat you. Maybe it's a specific person, or maybe it's at work. And put it in the chat if you want. What is a way that you are allowing people to treat you that you're sick and tired of and you don't yet know how to change it? Right? And then just consider that you have way more power and agency into changing that than you might have considered up until this point. Now, you can't change somebody else. You can never change somebody else.
Nope.
But in what ways might you be allowing people to treat you in such a way that you're actually not wanting to be treated or you haven't voiced it?
And here's the kicker. And this is probably gonna shock chat, especially the gentleman that just made the comment he made. Or female, I don't know who it was, but he just died in January.
Hmm.
And the hard part for me is I miss him and I don't know why. And I'm still trying to figure that out. Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but it was probably because we were together for 5 years. We were married.
Hmm.
And for me, like marriage is serious. I'm 41 years old. I've only been married once, just him.
Hmm.
And it kills me. Like it really is.
Yeah,
It's
man, I see
hard.
that.
It's confusing to me because I'm gonna love him for the rest of my life. But the fact that he did what he did hurt, but at the same time, when I found out he was dying, I wanted to help. I had made peace with it and said, okay, I'm I want to help make him feel better.
Hmm. Well, man, that's it. Just
Sorry.
no. Don't be sorry. It's a very human response, right? Two things can be true. You love him, and you weren't thrilled with his behavior, and now when his life was on the line, it's like, oh,
I didn't get
it's
to
a
say
grief.
goodbye, D'Angelo.
Hmm.
Yeah. He was an alcoholic and he got life flighted and was on an ECMO machine
Hmm.
and his limbs started turning black. And his mom had to pull the plug. I didn't get to say goodbye. My daughter didn't get to say goodbye either. And I didn't think it would hit me the way that it did. And it's literally almost May and I'm still upset. And everybody keeps asking me why I'm upset. And I don't know myself. Like, for some reason, when I think about him, I get emotional. And I don't know why.
Well, you're grieving, is what I make of that. And grief is hard. There's no right timeline for grief. There's multiple losses there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just stumbled upon your live and I saw your content and yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. And look, this conversation is so. It's not about porn. It's never about porn. There's so many deep layers to this, right? And the grief that you experience, I see that, and I don't have answers for you.
it's okay.
But yeah, man. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and I just hope for anybody that is out there that, for me, I've been through a lot of trauma in my life. And the one thing I can say is I want people to know that it's okay to put yourself first. Like, I literally, like, did I love him when I told him no? Absolutely. Did I want to keep him? Yes. But for me, I had to take control of my own life for once and be like, your behavior is not appropriate. I have to take care of me because if I don't, what self respect do I have if I just keep letting you hurt me? Because at that point, I'm giving you permission to keep hurting me. And
Yep.
so that was the strongest thing I could have done for myself. And I
Yep.
don't regret it. Even with him dead now, I don't regret it. I don't.
Yep.
I did what was right for me and my daughter.
Yeah. Good for you. There's a quote that comes to mind. I don't love this quote necessarily, but it's, at first you're a victim, and after that you're a volunteer.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. 100%. And I've never
I
heard that before. I love it.
yeah. I think there's a lot more nuance to how that's worded, but I think that the sentiment of it is pretty good. So,
Well, I
well, thank you for
appreciate you
sharing.
very much.
Yeah.
What's your name? If
My
I
name's
don't know,
Austin. Yeah.
Austin. My name is Shanty. So
Shanty.
it's a pleasure, and
Yeah.
I appreciate you letting me get on here and talk. And I hope that just by what I'm saying, that helps somebody else.
Yeah. Thank you. Who here in the chat was impacted by what Shanty shared in a positive way, or a more human way? You had a more human experience because
Thank
of
you.
what she shared. I sure did. Very what they said.
Yeah,
All right.
it's. Thank you guys. I
Yeah.
appreciate you
Thanks for sharing.
listening. Absolutely, and I hope everybody has a really good day tomorrow, and I hope you choose happiness. And I keep telling my friends that selfishness is not selfish, it's necessary,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
self-care is what keeps you healing and keeps you healthy. And you have to make sure that you take time, just at least one thing a day for self-care.
Yeah.
So
Thanks for sharing.
absolutely. Thank you, Austin. You're wonderful. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Let's go. Cowboy Bunny Beep. What's up?
Hi.
Hey there. What's going on?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks. Are you 18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay. Is porn cheating?
I do think it's cheating. However, I think that there is a healthy way that couples can use it together.
Healthy way couples can use it together. Okay. What's up?
So there are accounts on like Twitter and stuff like that that are made for couples, and usually they don't show faces and stuff like that. And I personally think that if you're sending those to your partner, being like, hey, we should try this, or we haven't done this, we should try that, I think that that's fine. However, I think that is a very rare use of porn usually. Usually it's not like that. Usually it's like a solo girl or OnlyFans, and I think that that is cheating because they are lusting over that one person versus like thinking of what to do together, if that makes sense.
Got it. All right. Are you in a relationship?
I am, yeah.
Okay. And do you and your partner use porn?
No, no.
No. Okay. Got it. How come?
Um, because I had a really bad experience with my ex, and it was just really terrible, and it I basically explained that to my current boyfriend like before we started dating, that hey, I'm not okay with porn of any type. I know my friend likes to use it with her boyfriend. Me personally, I don't get it, but she says it works for them, so I can't really judge. But for me, it's just not something I'm okay with.
Got it. So you had a bad experience, and then you set a boundary in your new relationship, and you're not okay with it.
Yeah.
Got it. Does your current boyfriend like did are you is it a boy? Assuming you're heterosexual.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, did he ever use pornography?
Yes, before we met, he did tell me he used to struggle with addiction and stuff like that. But long before we had even met, he had worked on it by himself. And I kind of trusted him because he was never really overly sexual when I first met him. So I kind of believed him in that way. But it did give me like second guesses into if I wanted to date him because of like what I had dealt with in the past. But for the most part, he's been truthful, and I don't believe he's ever watched it while dating me.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And have you asked him directly?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I mean, statistically speaking, there's a lot of different studies on it, but one of the more recent ones I read, I think it's 87% of men age, it's like 18 to 23 or something like that. 87% use pornography regularly or have admitted to using it within like the last 6 months or something. So I'm not saying he's a liar, but what I am saying is I think this is a conversation that's important to be had, especially in your age group, given how accessible pornography has been for kids that were growing up around that time. So, but that's great that you're having those conversations. Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks, bye.
All right. Bye bye. W's in the chat. There's no guests waiting. Where are the guests? Do I need to argue more? Porn is cheating. Change my mind. Let's try that prompt. Oh, but then I just argue with people. Where's that true guy from last night? Here in the comments, yeah. Hey there, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
How's it go? I'm doing good, thanks.
Word. Is it cheating?
Yes, porn is cheating. Is porn cheating?
I mean, I'm gonna have to say no. I guess it would be a problem though if you're, going ham on it and
Got it. So you don't
using
think
all
it's
sorts of
cheating?
devices and oils and multiple, like 5 times a day, maybe.
Okay.
I think that's the cutoff.
The cutoff is 5.
Well, I don't know. I'm flexible, probably.
You're flexible. So it's Krista. Welcome. It's been a little bit. So 5 would be cheating, but 4 wouldn't.
I mean, I can't really set a number, obviously, but obviously, I guess it depends on what you and your partner's views are, but almost no situation would I consider it cheating.
Almost no situation would you consider it cheating. Got it.
I feel like
Are
you'd
you?
have to like be a doll involved at least, and I mean, no, it's not cheating ever. It's not cheating ever.
It's
It's
not
just
cheating.
a problem if you're going crazy with it.
Got it. Are you in a relationship?
What do you think?
What do I think? Do I think you're in a relationship or not?
Come on, it's obvious, right?
Why would it be obvious?
I don't know. I just assume
I'm,
people think I sound crazy.
I'm going to say no, you're not in a relationship.
Correct.
Okay. Why did you think that was obvious?
Just feel like a lot of people kind of assume I'm crazy and I don't know, hard to love maybe. Unlikely to have a partner.
Why do you think that?
I mean, just at first, just at the introduction at the outset. Once they get to talking to me, they realize I'm a great person. Sort of.
So you feel like your first impression makes it seem as though you're not lovable?
That was a little extreme, probably.
Well, you said it for a reason.
Well, yeah, maybe I meant it down deep. I don't know.
How long you been telling yourself that?
Oh, come on now. I don't really mean that. It's just my first impressions aren't always great. Especially on TikTok when I got some crazy woman's photo on my block.
Oh, that's a woman?
Yeah.
Oh. How old are you, man?
40.
40, me too. 1985 club.
84 here.
Oh, 84, okay, close enough.
Scorpio.
I don't know my sign.
28, 32, 12, something.
When did you start watching porn?
Had to be middle school at least. Probably, well, elementary school for sure if you count like Showtime, Cinemax, and stuff.
Yeah, at
Soft.
our age, when the internet was just coming around, 1995, 6, 7, AOL, get that dial up.
Yeah, my dad worked for the cable company though, so we had HBO and movie channels my whole life. So I got whatever was on those at least. I'm sure a lot of people consider that. You are saying the word with a P and everything, right?
Yeah, I say porn all the time on here.
Yeah. Let's see what people are talking about with a lot of these words being banned
Yeah.
or whatever.
Have you been in many relationships in your adult life?
Yeah. Been in, I would say, long-term relationships most of my adult life. I'm on my longest break ever now.
How long has it been?
Shoot, a real relationship, like almost 4 years.
Okay. How much porn do you watch?
sometimes nightly. Sometimes, I don't know, once or twice a week.
Okay.
What about you?
I don't watch porn. I quit 8 years ago almost because I realized that porn and sex addiction is not a porn and sex problem. It's a how you deal with life problem. And I'm not saying you're addicted, by the way. I just realized that I was turning to pornography to try to make myself feel good and to escape the pain that was deep down in my heart that I didn't know how to deal with. And I was using pornography to attempt to make that pain go away. But it didn't matter how many times I would masturbate, the pain wouldn't go away. But what I was actually doing was numbing my emotions. But you can't selectively numb your emotions. If you numb one, you numb them all. So I had an awakening, we'll say. Said, you know what? The porn's got to stop. I got to deal with the issues in my life. And that's what I did. It's a hard journey.
They say that if you use it to change the way you feel, that's one of the definitions of addiction?
I don't know about that. I don't love using the addiction language. I mean, sure, we have to use it, but something I like to say is, do you think it's a problem? Do you want to stop? Have you tried to stop, and can you stop? I mean, you got to look at why you're doing it in the first place, but do you want to stop?
I haven't really considered it at all. So I guess not. But if I don't know, let me think here. I would probably try harder to find a woman if I wasn't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably something I should do. It would probably make my life better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I do want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, great, man. You can't change what you don't name. So if you want to stop, you can absolutely do that. And one thing we know about pornography is that it makes it harder to have actual intimacy with another person. And I'm not saying that's the reason why you aren't in a romantic relationship, but it certainly could be a contributor.
Yeah. I was taking a break purposefully because I got off, substances and alcohol a while
Good
back.
for you.
So whenever I do get with someone, it'll be like the first time, not on anything. I'm sure it'll be way different.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, I don't know.
Well, it probably will be. Hopefully it is. Right? Because you were numbing out, everything else going on in your life. How long have you been sober?
Almost 4 years.
Good job, man. That's awesome. W's in the chat.
Whoa.
What's your name, man?
Tool.
Tool. Is that your actual name?
Nah.
Okay, because I know a guy named Tool, and he's also 40.
His name is Tool? On his ID?
Yeah. It's part of his name. I won't say the full name, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I waited on a guy once, changed his name legally to Evil Genius.
Oh, wow. That's special. So what do you think would be different in your life if you weren't using pornography?
Oh, I don't know. I would hope I'd be more productive, but I wouldn't bank on it.
What do you
Not
do?
like it's taking up a lot of time or anything.
What do you do?
I would just say I would probably be more inclined, more determined to find a partner.
So you might be more inclined and more determined to find a partner. Do you ever feel bad after you watch pornography?
No.
Was that a no?
No.
Got it. Okay. Okay. But you think you might be more determined to find a partner if you didn't?
If I did feel guilt or shame,
Yeah. Do you feel any guilt or shame over it?
I don't think so.
Then why would you want to
Kinda.
stop?
I kind of have this overshadowing feeling that humans are far more just animalistic than we think we are. But I do try to spread love and be a good person.
Mm-hmm. Got it. I'm looking up that movie now, Krista. Well, man, look, I appreciate you sharing, and you're not alone in it. Especially, guys, people our generation. So that he's about the same age as I am, about 40. We were kind of in the age group where we just got the internet at home, in some cases. And we didn't know that the internet, we didn't know anything about the internet. This is the mid 90s, right? Mid to late 90s. And so pornography, I mean, it's way more accessible now than it was, but it was still pretty accessible. And the problem is when we see pornography at a young age, it changes our arousal structures. It changes how our brain orients to people, to sex, when we are objectifying people over and over and over again. And it literally grooves the brain. It hijacks the brain. And so I would just make the assertion, at least for me, that was a problem. It altered how I approached intimate relationships. One of the problems with porn is it distorts your expectations for sex because it is not realistic. And now you expand that over 10, 20, 30 years. Okay. You're in a wildly different place than that innocent young kid who came across pornography. So, man, if you're wanting help with that and you're wanting to stop and you see more possibility in your life, I'd be happy to chat with you and or encourage you to go find a resource that can help you to unpack that if you want to. And from my personal experience, I'd say there is way more available in life if and when we break free from that. As you know, because you've already broken free from other addictions.
Right. Well, yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Tool.
Yeah, no problem. Take it easy, bud.
Yeah, take care, man. Bye. I'm not going to find that scene, Krista, not right now. But why would he feel guilt for watching others being put there to watch? Oh, boy. What do I think about SLAA? SLA is Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. I think 12-step groups are useful and limited, just like anything else. What I see, I've been to a few SLAA groups myself. Here are the things, I think they're useful, period. And then here are some of my thoughts on it. They tend to be groups where there's not a lot of, I'll say, sobriety. Again, even though I don't love the addiction language. But it can kind of feel like the blind leading the blind sometimes, at least in the groups I've experienced, as well as hearing other people's experiences. Everybody shows up week after week, bless their hearts, but they're all not making progress together. And that's not every group, of course, but if that's a group that you're in or somebody's looking at being in, okay, just consider, is this going to be the most helpful group for me? But I think it's a great place to start. I've had people join my groups who come from SLAA, and they're like, wow, this is way different. It's not better or worse, it's just different. Because one key reason, at least with my groups, the style of groups that I run is we don't have crosstalk the way that they would language it, but there is kind of giving and receiving feedback that's allowed, so to speak, in the context that I like running groups. Whereas in SLAA, it's pretty regimen, ritualistic, and robotic, which again is fine. It's not bad, but it can leave more to be desired from a connection standpoint. And the opposite of addiction is not sobriety. It's what? chat. What is the opposite of addiction? Have you read Love and Respect book? You know, I love a good book, but I personally hated it. The opposite of addiction is not sobriety, it's connection. That's right. I went through a study of some sort years ago on Love and Respect. Emerson Eddricks, I can't pronounce his name. I thought it was useful at the time, but like many resources I was exposed to in, we'll say, the faith context, I have begun to question some of these resources. So I would love to revisit that book with new eyes and see what my opinion might be now. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men who are dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, such as pornography addiction or sex addiction, as well as women dealing with betrayal trauma. If you're interested in my groups, you can go to the link in my bio and schedule a discovery call. If you want to chat more, it's $1 for a 30-minute call, and that's a private call. It won't be posted on TikTok. If you want to chat more about your situation, if I might be able to help. And I also have groups. All the link is in my bio for that. That's why I was asking. Same here as someone who, yeah, I'd love to revisit that, Krista, but I probably won't because I have a million other books I need to read. Hey there, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Are you 18 or over?
Yes, I am. I'm
All right.
18.
You're 18. Okay, is porn cheating?
So I don't think it's cheating, but I think it's very disrespectful. I was in a relationship, and one of the main reasons we broke up was because of porn, and I think it shows weakness. Like if my
Here's
significant
can you
other-
pause real quick? The
Yeah, of
reason
course.
it's not free, Caleb, is because if it's free, one, people sign up and then they don't show up and they waste my time. And when people do that enough, I get irritated and then I raise the price to $50. Here's my philosophy, not that I feel like I have to justify myself, but tell you what I think through, is if you're willing to put $1 into a website that claims to help with pornography addiction, you're ready to work on this. If there's no skin in the game, you're probably not ready, right? Like if you're like, oh, I want to be anonymous, I don't want to put my credit card info, I don't want to spend the money, you might not be ready. So it's one indicator that says, hey, am I really ready to work on this? So I honestly don't think it matters if it's $1 or $100. It's are you ready to get in the game? So anyways, okay, sorry, go ahead.
So, I don't think it's like cheating, but it's very disrespectful and it just shows weakness. And I don't think I could be with someone that's like, they can't control themselves or their
Got it.
urges.
Yeah, so you don't think it's cheating, but it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
All right, so when does cheating become cheating?
I mean, when you're like, I feel like it's different because, like, I'm gonna say, like, when you're entertaining, like, another woman or, like, giving your attention and, like,
So watching
kind of
porn?
flirting. I mean, yeah, kind of, honestly. It was very, no, because, like, you're kind of right because when I was in that relationship and I, like, saw that on his phone, like, I would cry. Like, I felt so upset over it, but I never thought it was like cheating because everyone told me that it's like normal. Like that's just like guys, that's just normal.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's normal that if you're in a committed relationship with somebody that they're masturbating while watching other women have sex on their phone? Is that normal?
No, I think that's so weird. But I didn't understand because like this was a guy that I was dating for like years and he wouldn't even have like enough respect for me to like delete it out of his phone. So every time like and I wouldn't even look for it. Like I would like the one time I went to Safari because we were going to go out to watch a movie and I was going to look up movies for us to go see and I saw it in his phone. And it was just it's really like disappointing. Like to watch your like partner, and it's not like I wasn't like doing like not doing anything with that person. So I was just like, I was confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry to hear that. What is your, okay. So are you in a relationship currently?
No.
Okay. If and when you're in a relationship again, do you want there to be pornography involved or not?
No.
Okay.
I got baptized last year, and I feel like kind of turning my life to Christ kind of made me higher my standards, because I know that I'm going to be someone's future wife, and I don't like I don't need to settle for somebody that can't do something simple or train their mind or be strong enough to hold themselves from urges, because at the end of the day in life there's going to be urges, there's going to be people that and obstacles and things that test your relationship, and if you can't do the simple thing of not watching a random person like online, like there's so many more things to life, and like I don't know, it's like I don't want a weak-minded person to be the father of my children.
Good for you. I love that for you. I love that for you. How are you going to maintain that standard?
I think I'm taking, well, as long as it takes. It's
Wait,
not.
hold on. Uh-oh. Chat's saying that your page is Thirst Traps.
So actually, yeah, they are, because I keep those up because a lot of those videos are old, and I'm not going to hide the person I was before or shame. Like I'm an open book, and those videos, they're not really like thirst traps, but they're not modest. But they were
Well,
before I turned.
okay. Interesting.
Why do you say that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the videos, but a number of people
They're not like
said they're
they're not
thirst
like
traps.
thirst traps, but they're not things that I'm like, you know.
Well, all right. So what's up, Danielle? All right. So you don't want to delete them because you don't want to like hide your past.
No, because I'm not ashamed of it. Like
I got that,
I'm,
but yeah.
yeah.
So I think you can not be ashamed of your past and not be trying to hide it and delete the videos in a way that has integrity, as though you're not trying to sweep anything under the rug. You get what I'm saying?
I mean, everything that I put out.
Someone said, but your past was today.
My past was not today. I was at a beach. I was wearing a bikini to the beach. That's my bathing suit choice.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, I don't know what else I'm supposed to wear to the beach.
I don't know.
Dang, she
Oh
viewed
gosh, my producer friend just opened your page, and I got one glimpse of it, and I had to turn away.
Oh snap. Well, just because I post stuff doesn't mean like that doesn't change who I am as a person. You can post whatever you.
I got that. I'm not making any judgments.
I'm also
about you
I
for
do
it.
modeling, and I'm into fitness like a lot, so I kind of like have to.
Yeah, got it. So what's your intention with posting thirst trappy type content?
It's not really thirst trap. I look good, and I
You look
work
good.
out a lot
You look good. You work out.
for it.
Okay. What do you
And I
think
get paid.
and you get paid? Okay, you get paid. How do you make money doing that? Do you have an OnlyFans?
Do I have a no? I would never.
Okay.
I get
Okay.
paid by like creator funds and
All
like
right,
going live and
so
stuff.
you're profiting. Here's the dilemma. I'm not saying I'm right, but you're profiting off of using your body in a way that's displaying certain things.
I mean, even without my body, just my face, I'm still attractive. So
Then why not just post videos that only have your face?
I do sometimes.
Okay.
A little bit of both, you know.
Okay. What do you think you're attracting? What type of viewer do you think you're attracting by the type of content that you're posting?
Like at the end of the day, I'm not gonna marry or talk to anybody that I meet on TikTok. So it doesn't really matter. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because like I'm not gonna
Okay, at
like
the end of the day, you're not gonna meet or marry anybody from your content on TikTok.
no, absolutely not. I
Why is
no,
that?
because it's just because I prefer to meet my person in person, not like
Yeah, but
on
what
a
do you
screen.
think okay, let's just run with that. What if you meet your person in person and then they go look at your TikTok and they see I imagine that all these guys are commenting on your videos and DMing you stuff. Would like if and when they find out that this is what your online life is like, how do you think they might respond?
Well, at the end of the day, if the person that I'm like gonna be with isn't okay with mistakes I've made or things I've posted, and they can't like work with me through it or, you know, make me like, I don't know, if they're not okay with my mistakes or like my every
Yeah, but
part of me,
Tay,
I can't be with them.
is that your name? Did you say your name's Tay? That girl Tay, yeah. The way you're orienting this is like you're languaging it as though these are mistakes I have made, but this is an active thing that you are currently promoting. Right? Like let's just make it more extreme, right? Like let's say it was pornographic. Like let's say you had an OnlyFans. Okay, I know you said you don't, but let's say you did. It's like, well, that's my past, but I'm just going to leave it up because I make money from it, and I'm not ashamed of my past. Okay, that's one way to orient to it. But what would be a different way to orient yourself to that?
What do you mean?
Well, you could just delete it and say, I don't think this is helpful or useful, at least for the intention of what I'm creating it for. It just seems contradictory.
Mm, I mean, from like a business standpoint, like my most viewed video has like 500,000 views, and like it's still like on the
How much did you make off that video?
a couple $1,000s.
A couple $1,000. Got it.
Yeah.
What else would you do for more money? And that's not an offer. I'm just curious. Where
Nothing.
you talked about
I
raising your
mean,
bar, raising your standards.
no, I mean like I don't really post anything that bad.
Okay.
Like there's nothing like nude of me. There's nothing like that. I like I don't wear like I don't know, like hoodies and sweatpants every day, but it doesn't mean I'm like talking to anybody or whatever.
Got it. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
Of course.
Take care. Bye bye. Chat. Chat. Girl, if you're going to do it, own it. We know our old self was crucified with him, so the body ruled by sin might be done away with it. Janae, you there? Kind of a double standard. I didn't see it. Well, I didn't see the videos, but you're out there. I gotta go potty. Hold on a second. BRB. Like and share, people. Like and share. All right. She was two different people in one combo. I want to debate with someone who doesn't think it's cheating. How are we supposed to keep up that it's going on behind all?
What's going on, my man?
Hey there, not much. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Your prompt, like your prompt, is pretty cool. I don't think it's cheating at all.
Okay. Why's that?
Okay, let me clarify. Let me back up a little bit.
Bro, you're already
on, 'cause-
changing it?
Well, there could be some porn that could be cheating. I guess if you're trying to build a relationship with those people who you pay and you talk to and things like that. But standardized videos, just videos, not conversations, how can you consider that cheating unless you're saying it's going to be like because you're fantasizing about another woman? But that happens on a daily for men.
All right. Are you in a relationship
Yes, I'm in a relationship.
with
I've
a
actually
woman?
been married for 10 years.
Okay. And did you say having conversations? What did you say about conversations?
You know those sites where you pay and you can type or talk. I've never done it myself, but they come up and you can type to them and talk to them and I don't know, tell them to do things. I guess I'm assuming this is what they do. I mean, I don't spend my money on that, but I guess if you try to develop a relationship, then it might be cheating. But I think physically, the act of cheating has to be done in person.
Got it. All right. So the act of cheating has to be done in person.
Yes.
Got it. All right. Can we test that theory?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. What if one person in the relationship, let's say it's your wife, what if she is soliciting nude photos or videos from another man because she wants to masturbate to that man's photos or videos?
You're asking my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Well, once again, now you have the aspect of texting, talking.
Well, hold on. You said it has to be physical, right?
Sure. Would I consider it cheating? No, I would not.
Got it. So if your wife texted another man and asked him for pictures or videos of his eggplant, say, so that she could masturbate to it, and then she did masturbate to it, and while doing that, looking at the pictures or videos, she's also fantasizing about maybe having sex with them, you wouldn't have an issue with that?
No, not a problem. And the reason why is because you haven't crossed that boundary or that line. It's
Got it.
total fantasy, total. It's like when women read those books.
Got it. All right. So then,
we
when
call
does
it the
cheating
bonding
become?
point.
When does cheating become cheating? Is it the moment of insertion?
It doesn't have to be insertion. Physical
Okay.
touch,
Physical touch. What kind of touch?
holding hands, kissing,
Holding hands.
anything like that.
Holding hands or kissing would be cheating.
Insertion, yeah,
And-
because you have crossed that
including
line
insertion.
from fantasy to reality.
You've crossed the line from fantasy to reality. Got it. What about emotional cheating?
Well,
And actually, I gotta thank you, random person. That's literally your name. So holding hands with somebody would be cheating, but asking for pictures of them naked so that you can masturbate to them while fantasizing about it would not be cheating.
not in my book because there's
Not in your
no
book.
there's no physical connection.
Got it.
It's just
Is your wife
it's
there?
just a picture.
Is your wife there? Can we get her on?
No, she's not here. She's asleep.
Wake her up.
You want me to get killed, man? No way.
Why would you get
She's-
killed?
She's an early riser, so
she's
she'll
an
have
early
to get
riser.
up. Yeah, she gets up probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she? So do you watch pornography?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Not on a
Does
daily
she?
basis or anything like that, but
Does she know that you watch it?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. Does she watch it with you?
No, she's actually very vanilla, so she's not really into that kind of stuff. Um, from what I known her for 20 something years, so she's not into any of that. She's very innocent, if you want to put it that way.
She's very innocent. So okay.
I don't know how else to describe it.
No, I got it. Why do you watch pornography?
Well, there's a couple different reasons, but one, you know, maybe to live out of a fantasy world, to maybe, say, oh, fantasize exactly what you were saying earlier, but also to, sometimes, you can admire the human body for what it is, and, different shapes, sizes, colors.
So you want to fantasize and admire human bodies that aren't your wife's. But what do you gain from that?
I don't think I would gain or lose anything. What would I lose? My wife is not a perfect person. I mean,
I think you'd lose the opportunity to create more intimacy with your wife.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess instead of doing that, I can be upstairs, creating more intimacy. But I mean, how much more? I guess there's certain things that you can view in pornography that maybe your spouse is not willing to do, or things like that. Not everybody's willing to do everything that you see online. And in order for one not to go look for it outside and break your bond to your person, maybe that's kind of an escape, because it's a fantasy world.
When did you start watching porn?
I was young. From what I remember, I don't know, 10. I don't know how old exactly I was. 10, between 10 and 13 years old.
And how old do you know?
40.
40. A lot of 40-year-olds tonight. 1985 Club.
84, like the other guy.
Dang it. 84 Club. I'm the 85 Club.
Yeah, I'm almost 41, so it's around the corner.
Okay. So you've been watching porn for 25 years? Is that the math? 25, 30 years or so?
Sure, why not?
Okay. How often do you do it?
If I had to give you an average, once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks. How often are you and your wife intimate?
We try to at least 2 times a week, to maybe 3 times, but it usually ends up being more like 2.
Okay. So twice a week. Oh, go ahead.
Granted, I would like it more. She probably likes it the way it is, but it is what it is.
She's vanilla, right?
Oh yeah, she hasn't tried anything. I'm actually her first and her only.
How many do you have?
Quite a bit.
Okay.
And I think the difference is, I know the difference between pornography and cheating because of my past, and unfortunately, I have crossed that line in another relationship when I was younger.
What line did you cross?
I cheated on somebody.
You physically cheated on someone?
Well, yep, physically did it.
Got it. How old were you?
In my 20s, probably, maybe high teens, 19, 20, 21.
Okay. Did you get caught?
Did I get caught? Yeah. Got caught.
Got it. Have you ever cheated on anybody since then?
No. It was a one-time thing ever.
Okay.
Lack of judgment.
You still watch porn.
Yeah, because I don't see it as cheating.
Yeah, I got that. All right. So your wife is vanilla. She's, according to you, she's not willing to do things you're wanting to do. And you said something like, well, that was precarious to me how you worded that, like as though she should want to do everything that you want to do just because you see it in porn. I mean, I know that's not what you literally said, but
Not everything. I mean, obviously, there's certain things I would like to try that she's not okay with, and I have to respect her boundaries. So I chose to be in this relationship. I can also choose to leave the relationship, but I'm not going to leave it because of that.
so you then go act it out through pornography.
Sure. Yeah, you can say that.
Okay. All right. What do you think would be the most honoring way to be with your wife, or the way to honor her the most? Is it to act out these fantasies through pornography, or would it be to not do that and maybe just put your focus just on her and meet her where she's at?
Well, I mean, I think I already meet her where she's at, since there's not really, it doesn't really go very high, you know, it's pretty low. So whatever she's okay with doing, honoring her and respecting her wishes not to do certain things. I'm pretty sure that I feel like that's honoring her. Obviously, maybe not watching porn in front of her. You know, I never do it when she's around. That's why it's probably like once every 2 weeks, if that. I mean, it's gone more than that. So I mean, I think I honor her by doing it on my own time when she's not around.
Got it. So
But
you honor
does
your
she
wife.
know?
Yeah. Does she know?
Yeah, she knows. Of course she knows.
Okay. Like you tell her every time.
No, we've had a conversation before, like, hey, you know, what are you watching? Or hey, I heard the computer last night, or whatever it might be. And I said,
Got it. Sounded like someone was smacking some bologna around in the living room last night.
yeah. No, not last night, my man.
All right. What do you think would, do you think there's anything that could improve your relational intimacy with your wife? And if so, what would it be?
On my part or her part?
Either one.
So, on her part, yes. I would love her to be a little bit more adventurous and try new things, which then would maybe take the intimacy to another level. On my part, I don't really know what else I would do, to tell you the truth, other than, like I said, respect her boundaries, you know, love for her, care for her, provide for her. I don't know what else I could do on my end.
Got it. Have you ever considered the possibility that pornography might be preventing you and her from having more intimacy?
That's a great question. I have thought about it. I have had a conversation with her about it. And I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think we just, unfortunately, when you've been with somebody for about 10 years, you kind of fall into a routine, which kind of sucks. And especially with somebody like her who's not very adventurous, you're kind of stuck where you're at.
When you've been with somebody for 10 years, you eventually fall into a routine that kind of sucks. Is that your experience, or are you asserting that that's everybody's experience?
I'm asserting that I can only speak for myself, so I'm asserting my experience. However, I believe over time, that's why people end up either divorcing or cheating because they're not being met with certain things that maybe one person has a higher sex drive than another. The wife is good with 1-2 times a week. The husband wants 3 to 4 times a week. And unless you guys end up with a compromise, something's got to give eventually. We're just humans. Eventually, it's got to give. So I don't believe people cheat just to cheat. I believe, and people always
Do
say,
you
well,
do you think your marriage is headed for divorce?
no, not at all. No, we're happily married. Um, I always look at it this way. It might be the right way, the wrong way, but I said, okay. Um, what I want to try or do is only 20, let's say 20%, right? That I'm dissatisfied with my marriage. However, I got to always remember the 80%, how good of a mother she is, how good of a wife she is. Um, so I will not let the 20% take over the 80%, because I don't know if I'm going to find somebody I probably will find somebody who can meet my 20% needs, but then lose the 80%. And that's not going to be a good situation for me neither.
Yeah, I got it. I wonder what it would be like if stop putting so much focus on this 20% fantasy that you're trying to have fulfilled. Like, and there's nothing wrong with desiring things and wanting to explore things with your partner. Don't hear me in that. But here's the problem I'm hearing. Are you open to my feedback?
No problem. Go for it, man.
All right. So 25 years of porn use is a lot. And one thing we know about porn is porn use always escalates. It always escalates. Maybe into physical cheating, not always. It does sometimes, but it escalates in the type of content we watch, how much we watch, where we watch it, who we watch it with. It always escalates, and it creates unrealistic expectations for sex. Now, when you draw that out over 25 years, I know I certainly did after 20 years of watching pornography, I had extremely unrealistic expectations of what I thought I wanted in sex, what I thought I wanted. But I actually didn't want that, nor do many of the people I work with. What I actually wanted was to have an intimate, connected relationship with my partner. I wanted to be seen and known and loved for who I was. But instead, I thought it was about, if only I can do this thing in the bedroom, or we can do it there, or have this experience, or put it in that hole, whatever it might be, then I will be fulfilled. But what I would offer to you, man, is you may not actually want what you think you want. Don't believe everything you think. And this might just be a distraction from actually creating intimacy, real intimacy. I'm not talking about sexual intimacy with your partner. And maybe a little vanilla isn't a bad thing.
It's not a little vanilla. It's a lot of vanilla. It's nothing but vanilla.
Well, what if just enjoying vanilla with her and only her and getting rid of the porn, what if you actually are like, gosh, I just freaking love vanilla. Like, vanilla is actually really good.
Vanilla. Okay. I think the
But
biggest
I don't think you've ever had vanilla, because your brain has been pornified since you were like 10 years old. You don't even know what vanilla is.
I think you have a good point. It could be. I guess I also reflecting on past experiences that I've had that weren't vanilla. Unfortunately, if you want to put it this way, I was used goods when I met her at that point. I've been around the corner a couple times. And when I made my commitment to her as we married through church, to only have love for her, and she's my person and she's my wife. And, yes, the eyes do stray from time to time. Okay. It is what it is. I am not a perfect person, but to break the boundary, to cross the line, to cheat, is not me. Flirt, maybe, unintentionally, but to cross that line, I can't do that. And that's
You
why
said you
I
got married
said
in a church. What's your religious orientation?
I'm Catholic.
You're Catholic. Got it. You
Yeah.
familiar with the Bible?
Somewhat, not really. I mean, I could read the book more.
Got it.
I just do my go to church and find out how how bad I am, and then I leave church.
Okay. Well, that's one way to do it.
Well, so let me put it this way. I'm Catholic, but I enjoy Christian church more.
Okay, got it. It's a Christian church. All right. You're familiar with Matthew 5:27 and 28?
No, sir.
All right. Jesus says, a man who even looks at a woman with lustful intent has committed adultery with her in his heart. A man who even looks at a woman with lustful intent has committed adultery with her in his heart. Given that you're a Catholic and a Christian, how would you reconcile that verse, Jesus' teaching, with your behavior?
I've committed sin quite a bit. There's no reconciling it. It is what it is. I mean, if I see a pretty woman, I like looking at a pretty woman. I mean, there's unpure thoughts maybe come
Okay,
through,
but then Jesus further goes on to say, if you find yourself in sexual immorality, flee, run from it. If your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. So he's not saying, okay, well, you can't do anything about it. He's saying, no, try like hell to run away from this because it will eat you up from the inside out. And it's so serious, the left hand does in that culture.
That's my strong hand.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to be preachy on you, man, but if you have those religious convictions like you said you do, then maybe there's something to look at there.
You're right. You're 100% correct. Unfortunately, I'm a sinner.
Well, let's join the club, man. Join the club.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's tough. But like I said, I hold on as like I was trying to explain. I hope it made sense. That 80%, man, not gonna lose that 80% for a stupid 20% gain on one end.
No, I got it, man. I got it. But I would just leave you with like, dude, you're 80, like taking that 80 to 100, that might be so much better than trying to keep this 20% around, because the 20% might be deceiving you into thinking you're wanting something that actually isn't going to be good for you.
But how do you get rid of the 20 is the question.
How do you get rid of the 20? I'm glad you asked. I'm a coach. I help people with this. First, you have to want to. You have to decide, okay, do I want to consider that this might not be helpful for me? And then, okay, well, what do I do with that? Here's how you do it: is you actually create real intimacy with your partner. The goal is not to stop looking at porn. The goal is not to stop having these, wanting to explore these desires or fantasy. The goal is to be curious about it and create more intimacy with your partner and only your partner. If you do that, if you say, I just want to focus my eyes on her, I'm going to be vanilla a little bit, because when I made my marriage vows, I said I'm committed to you and only you, not you and a bunch of other women on the internet. So it's adhering to that, living in integrity with what your vows were, and saying, I am going to strive for that. And when you do that, man, when you cleanse yourself of that, I'm telling you, it'll be, the intimacy you can experience will be like something you never thought was possible. How do I know that? Because I was that guy who was addicted to pornography for 20 years and cheated on my wife. And that sucked. The 20% ran my life. And then I had to say, you know what, this is not working. And we've been able to restore our marriage into something that is beautiful. It's taken a lot of hard work. So it's a whole process, man. The question is, are you up for that?
Here's, I guess, the biggest problem in my eyes. I don't see, unless I see it as wrong, which porn, right? I think once a month, once every 2 weeks, I don't think it's an issue. If it was every day kind of thing.
Yeah, so you're in this justification game for what it is. You got to extrapolate this back to what is porn. It's the objectification somebody else's body for your sexual benefit. Here's a question. Should a woman's body be a marketplace? Should a woman's body be a marketplace?
Define marketplace.
Something where commerce is transacted.
Should it be? No, it should not be. Is it though? Because women decide to
If
do
it
so?
shouldn't be, then why are you participating in the marketplace of women's bodies being a marketplace?
But I'm not paying for it, so how am I
Yes, you are.
participating?
Yes, you are.
How?
Not with dollars, but I promise you, you're paying for it.
I guess the other thing I'm struggling with is, you know how we keep saying the 20%, but the 20% is also part of me. It is me. I enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing the non-vanilla stuff. I think it's fun. It's
Totally.
I've had a
And
lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I got it. And look, I mean, if I was coaching you, which I'm not, and your partner, I would explore that. I'd say, let's explore this 20%. Let's put it all on the table. Like, okay, where are we missing each other here? No two people have the exact same sexual desire at the same time. So, okay, no problem. Let's explore that. And then let's come up with what's acceptable for us. If one person isn't willing to do that, okay, what do we do with that? Do we honor that boundary? Or do we say, you know what, I'm going to go get it anyways from some other woman online?
I guess I rather online than in person, right?
Yeah, so it seems less bad to you to go get it from somebody online. But what would be the most best?
The most best would be from my wife and nobody else.
Well, or honoring her request, I would say, which is, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I mean, it's kind of hard to have this conversation because I don't know what the thing is, right? And I'm not asking you to tell me what the thing is, but I think you're playing this game here where you're like, well, I'm not physically cheating, so therefore I'm justifying my behavior. Okay, so you're feeling entitled to go do that. But I would say if you back that up and say, instead, I'm just going to honor my partner and just respect her boundaries. She's not wanting that. Okay, no problem.
But I have respected her boundaries, and I said, okay, you don't want that? Cool,
Well,
got it.
Yeah, but I think you kind of have, but you're then just acting it out on your own with pornography. So I don't know that you've really done that. So, but anyway, I mean, it's hard to have this conversation when we're being non-specific.
No, I
about
got
it.
you. You know, I'd
Yeah.
probably take you up on that $1 thing or whatever.
$1, baby. $1. I'll even give you an hour, man. There's a lot to unpack here.
Oh man, I hope I've been trying to get on your show for a while, so I hope
Yeah.
the experience was enjoyable for you as it was for me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. No, I enjoyed chatting. Yeah, for sure. Schedule. Is your name Julio?
Yeah,
Yeah. Schedule a call if you want to do an hour. We can certainly do that. Okay, man.
will do, brother.
right.
Is there one more time? How do I do it?
Go to the link in my bio. So click on my name wherever it is. How do we do this, chat? Is it down there? I think it's down there. Or maybe
Is that
it's
the
at the top of the screen.
PXR? Yeah.
Yeah, Porn Coach. Go there. It says ready to get free or something like that. And then there's a link. It's linktree.com/porncoach. And then it says start here. Schedule what I call a discovery call. It's at the top. Thank you, Coops Granny.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Will do. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Nice chat. See ya. W's in the chat for Julio. We're just exploring everything tonight. Maybe you and Mr. My Business together. TMI. Do some of the old fantasies now make you uncomfortable? Oh yeah, Krista. Oh yeah. I've seen some stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's like at some point you get to this place of watching this crap and you're like, geez, like, how'd I get there? Like, no, I don't want that. And here's the thing is, don't believe everything you think. Don't believe everything you think. I thought I wanted this stuff. Other people think they want it, but then when you actually do it, it's like, nope. There's a story. I don't think I can share it on TikTok. I have their permission to share it, but I don't know that I can censor it enough to where the context still makes sense. and I don't get banned. But I worked with this couple, and I started working with them because they were on TikTok. She came and said she found her husband watching XYZ stuff, and I worked with them for about 6 months. Let's just say he thought he wanted something, but when they tried it, he was like, nope. I didn't actually want that. But good for them for exploring that together and then realizing, oh, this actually didn't have to do with me wanting that thing. It comes back to love. It comes back to connection. It comes back to comfort. And do we have fantasies? Sure. Let's explore what the meaning of the fantasy is. Try to make meaning of that. All right, I'll take Coops Granny. Did you actually want to come on here, or was that an accident? It's usually an accident for you. It was an accident. Okay, no problem. By the way, I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with unwanted sexual behavior, such as pornography use or sexual addiction, as well as women struggling with betrayal trauma. If you have been betrayed by somebody who's watching pornography or had an affair, that is a lonely place. There's a lot of shame involved in that. It's called carried shame. Same with if you're a man struggling with porn addiction. It can be a very lonely place. I recommend these books. The Betrayal Bind. I would typically recommend this for a woman going through betrayal trauma. The Betrayal Bind by Michelle Mays. As well as Unwanted by Jay Stringer, How Sexual Brokenness Reveals Our Way to Healing. These books are largely what I follow in my group coaching. Although tonight we talked about grief. And we actually used Help Her Heal in the men's group tonight. Help Her Heal. You know what we talked about tonight? We talked about identifying what your wife needs to feel safe. How often do you come across Zoom rooms of dozens of men talking about how to make their wife feel safe? I come across it all the time, but that's just me. Is my wife right there? No, my wife is sleeping. It's getting hot in here. All right, let's bring on maybe one or two more guests. Let me get a clip to send to my husband. No, I'm kidding. Just show my videos. I need to make more straight-to-camera videos. What's my opinion? My opinion is if you're in a committed monogamous relationship with another person, you've said something like, I love you, only you, mind, body, and soul, till death do us part. If you deviate from that, whether choosing a person on a screen or otherwise, you violated the agreement and therefore cheating. Janae?
Hello.
Hey there, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Are you 18 or over?
Definitely 18 or older, unfortunately.
Definitely
41.
18 or 41. Okay, gosh, a lot of 40-ish-year-olds tonight. All
I
right,
know,
what's going
right?
on? Is porn cheating?
I don't have a straight answer for that. I think it depends per couple for sure. If it's not good for both of you, then do you want my face on here or no? Like most people don't, or do you want my face on here?
Okay, you do whatever you want.
Okay. I hope that my relationship in the future, I'm single right now. It is not necessarily cheating. But I think that if two people talk it out and they understand each other, then both can come to an agreement that's good for each other, as long as there's open communication. I don't see it as necessarily a bad, horrible thing. I mean, we're all different people, right? One may need something. Well, I mean, like you just said a while ago, like everybody has a different sexual appetite at different times. I don't want to punish my partner for needing something more than I may be wanting at the time. And I would hope that I would be, not so vanilla and able to be like, okay, I want to keep him happy. I may like it too. So, let's give it a shot.
Got it. All right. So you said you're not in a relationship?
Not so much. No,
That's
I'm
not
not
a trick
married.
question.
No, it's not. I'm not married. No,
You're not married. Got it. Are you in a relationship?
no.
No. Okay. So if you're in a relationship, how many other women might your partner need to masturbate to before you did think it was a problem? Is there a limit?
Oh, I mean, I guess in hindsight, oh, you are good at this, aren't you? I guess in hindsight, if that was to happen, and I guess I like came across it or found out about it, uh, honestly, I guess I would just be like, what can I do for you for that to be something that's like, I know a lot of women are going to be like, oh my gosh, but like, what's lacking in our sexual life where that can't be shared with me? Like, what can I do to please you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this
Yeah.
doesn't have to be hid from me.
Yeah. Got it. So you're game. You're game for whatever he's up for.
No, I wouldn't
Oh.
know. I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I think it's definitely a communication thing. I mean, I have boundaries, but am I going to be able to say right now what those boundaries are?
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, I really can't say what those boundaries are because I think if two people connect and they care about each other, then, they're at least going to, have an open conversation and explore that, right?
You'd hope, but it
I'd
usually
hope.
doesn't happen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So communication is everything, as we know. That's hopefully obvious, but it isn't always anymore. It's 2025, but communication is very important. So, what boundaries do you set with your partners when you're in a relationship, if any?
Obviously we're strictly speaking sexually right now.
Well, I don't know. It could be, but yeah, sure, sexually.
Well, seeing how I'm not in a relationship right now, I'm not really going to put that expectation on a relationship that I'm not in. I don't know that person yet. They don't know me yet. So I think as time goes on and you get more comfortable with each other, you learn to be more honest with each other and realize that honesty is definitely the key to not having these times of hiding things from each other. I mean, that's why there's so many divorce rates, right? Like nobody's able to be comfortable with one another. Everybody feels the need to hide themselves, even from themselves. Nobody wants to be who they are. So I don't know if I would say I have those boundaries. I don't think that I would be comfortable. I guess the first thing that comes to mind, I don't think that I would be comfortable physically involving other people in my relationship. That's a boundary for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was crossed, yeah, I mean, that would be an issue, but I wouldn't crucify that person for wanting that. But that would have to be talked through and see, like where can we, if there is a middle ground on that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I think communication, it's all about communication. So
Absolutely.
I don't necessarily disagree with you on that. I do think it's, there is kind of like the previous caller said with, he didn't literally say this, and Julio, you, don't hear me in this, but there's a line of like, I just want what I want it now, and I will get it no matter what. And that's I think a very precarious way to orient yourself, especially when it has to do with sexual intimacy. Because at some point, there are some things that we're just not going to do that. So then what do you do?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't guess that I've been in that situation yet, or to be honest, knowing if I was in that situation or not. Like, I feel like I've always had a partner that feels like I'm very open about that. But I was just reading one of the comments that I think is like one of the reasons I tend to kind of, no offense, ladies, kind of end up not siding, but I guess going in a man's way of thinking more, because this all comes down to like men are the villain in this. Like men are the ones addicted to porn. Men are the ones stepping out. Men. That is such an
Well,
untrue statement.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be careful with that, though. I hear the sentiment what you're saying, but you got to be careful with that because what pornography or sexual acting out oftentimes is, not always, but oftentimes is eroticizing our wounds, eroticizing the wounds of our past. And we think that sex is making us feel better, but it's actually not getting anywhere. And that's why this phrase I'm about to say lands with so many people, is that men can just begin to use a woman's body as a masturbatory aid. So they really haven't changed anything or solved anything. They still have just as much
Do you
going on
not
on the
think?
inside,
Do you not
but
think
they're
that
just using a
women
woman
are
instead of
capable
porn.
of that? Do you not think that women are capable of that?
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, the inverse can be true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely look, I'm gonna like, let's do this. Hold on. I was trying to like show my face for a second if I can. If it's gonna let me. I don't know if it's gonna let me. I mean, I definitely have personal experience with this. You know, having a childhood that was definitely could have went in a way of going with what you're saying, like men using that, but I was able to like work through that in a lot of therapy once I got older, and I turned that around for myself from being like a teenager of sex, you know, using that to feel good about myself. If a man felt good about me, I felt good about myself, right? Like that. I mean, I think that's a classic story for a lot of us. But as I matured, I was able to turn that around into, okay, this doesn't have to be that.
Yeah. Good
And
for you.
and that, you know, that was a lot of work in therapy, absolutely. But I think we're all capable of just listening and, you know, like you said, I mean, maybe, yeah, I will say that you are pretty damn good at this. Maybe I do have some boundaries that I didn't think about before. I just haven't been faced with being put on the spot for those boundaries yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's so much nuance to it, right? And I don't know your story, but good for you for healing through that and getting to this point. And it sounds like you are in a really good place. And so, yeah, there's just a lot to look at with this whole conversation with pornography and cheating and what sex actually is and what intimacy is and love and lust. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, it was
thank
great
you for
talking
sharing.
to you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you too.
You're great. Keep doing this.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye. All right, chat. Oh, I'm 2 minutes away from 2 hours. Well, I got to go to bed at some point. I'm not going to take any more guests. All right. Great being with you all tonight. Look, if you are looking to improve your relationship and maybe explore your sexual story, either individually or with your partner, I think it's a great endeavor to go on to figure out how you got to this point. As Jay Stringer says in Unwanted, how did I get here? Why do I stay here? And how do I move on from here? How did I get here? Why do I stay here? And how do I move on from here? Here being this unwanted sexual behavior. Jay Stringer, he actually has a conference this Saturday, sexualattachment.com, side note, if you're interested in that. Happens to be in Phoenix, Arizona, where I live. It's going to be a great conference. I'll be there. But if you're looking for some support in this, whether you've been betrayed by a partner who's using pornography or has been having affairs, or you are stuck in an unwanted sexual behavior cycle, whether that's porn addiction or sex addiction, you can schedule a call with me using the link in my bio. It's $1 for a 30-minute call, and we can chat about your situation privately, not on TikTok. It won't be posted if you want to do that. How do I know that this stuff works to get on the other side? Well, I was addicted to porn for about 20 years, which escalated into physical cheating on my wife. And I'm still married to the same woman. It's been almost 14 years coming up here in June. The first few years sucked really bad. I'm not going to lie. Pretty bad. But the last 8, coming up on 8, have been great. Why? Because there is trust, there's intimacy, there's vulnerability. Intimacy is think about intimacy this way. Into me see. I want you to see inside of me so that you can love all of me. Pornography tends to cut off intimacy. So we're not actually letting somebody see inside of us. We're only showing them the things we want to, and we're numbing out the rest. But as Brene Brown says, you can't selectively numb emotions. If you numb one, you numb them all. And if you numb them all, you're a shell of a person. And then all you're doing is going on TikTok trying to argue with some guy about why your pornography use is no problem. I don't blame you. I would have done it too 8 years ago, but here we are. So there's much more to life when we stop masturbating while watching strangers have sex on the internet. Unpopular opinion. Krista, I don't know. Give me a topic. Unpopular opinion. Oh, dude, watch this interview I did on YouTube. That's there. When I went to ASU, Arizona State University, and talked to college kids about this, I had a delightful chat with this 19-year-old woman, about pornography and all this stuff, and it was a really cool interview. So go to my YouTube channel if you're interested in that. PXRN Coach. I'll put it in my link tree real quick so you can get to it a little easier. Oh, it's in my link tree. Go to my YouTube. It's a 30-minute interview with this girl. Here's the thing: when you show up on a college campus and you just start talking about porn, you never know what's going to happen. You never know. Which video is it? You couldn't find it. It's the first one. It says "Free from Addiction at 19 Years Old" is the name of it. So if you go, let me go to incognito to make sure I'm seeing what you're seeing. Porn coach. I don't know. Hey, can you fix that? I got my buddy here. He'll remain nameless, but he's gonna help me do some production stuff over here. So he's been observing my stream here tonight. Right? Yeah. He gave a thumbs up. He's my video guy. I don't know. Go look for it. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna link it in my link tree. Okay, just for you, whoever that person was that asked. I'm gonna change the YouTube link to be that video. I'll forget that I did that, but whatever. Just go watch this video. YouTube interview. There you go. There you go. Chat. Wait, is he the one that filmed the ASU and added all the No, that's a different video guy. This is my original video guy. He's gonna be helping me with some stuff. So, all right, it's linked there in my link tree now. It says YouTube interview. All right, great being with y'all tonight. Don't watch porn. It's my opinion. I think your life will be better if you don't watch porn. And if you've been betrayed by porn, or maybe you've been tolerating your partner's pornography use, you don't have to do that. There's a bigger story for you. Make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. Always, 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 always yours. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.